Always fun when my worlds kind of intermix. And so, for those of you guys who don't know, on the side, I am a health coach, really for the whole purpose of my life so transformed over the last year. And I learned so much that I told my wife, I'm like, I just want to pass this on and help other people. And Eric was the one that helped me. And so, Eric, welcome. How are you
Man,
doing?
it's so great to be here with all of you today. I love being able to help people think about health and how much it literally can transform every aspect of your life. And I am certainly living proof of that. So Chris, I'm honored to be here today, my friend.
So, Eric, I know that you have not always been healthy. And I know that this last week was a big week for you. You're in a big season of your life and celebrating. Why? Tell us what that's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. I had tried to get healthy. I had tried to lose weight literally for decades. And it was only when I found the right community to surround myself with that I finally chose to do it differently than any other thing I had done. And on December 15th, 2018, I officially said yes to really chasing back down the best version of myself. And this coming up in just a month or so, December 15th, will be my 5-year anniversary of losing 100 pounds, keeping it off for 5 years, which I never was able to do. And then also lowering my blood pressure from 206 over 138, which was beyond ICU stroke level, coma level, down to 116 over 66, along with all of my internal other blood work measurements are now in the ultra health category. And it has forever changed my life. And so, Chris, to be honest, December 15th is more important to me than my actual birthday, because I feel like it's my rebirth day. And I was able to add on decades of my life when my doctor gave me 3 to 5 years to live. And I never will forget that moment when he said, dude, it's time to make change.
So the doctor says you have 3 to 5 months to live, or 3 to 5 years to live, unless you make change. And you are right now coming up on that 5-year mark. That's got to feel good.
That's right. That's it, man. That's exactly it. As a matter of fact, he has not seen me since I went in for one checkup, about 30 pounds down, and he was blown away then. He would be flabbergasted if he saw me today. So maybe on my 5-year anniversary, Chris, I might just walk into that doctor's office and set up an appointment just to go in and shock my doctor and to tell him thank you for being the doctor that said, dude, shape up or you're shipping out.
That's awesome. So you literally went from that. And if I remember your story right, you were saying that when you went in for something completely unrelated to the doctor and they took your blood pressure, the doctor literally took the keys from you.
Yeah, I had to surrender my car keys under Montana state law where I live because my blood pressure was so out of control, they would not let me get behind a steering wheel.
So you went from that, and then fast forward a few years, and you were standing on the set of American Ninja Warrior about to run it for the first time.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Yeah, as one of the oldest contestants in the show's history, and I ran. First year was season 14, and then I just ran again in the spring of this year for my next season. That has not come out on TV yet. They're still waiting to do part 2 of this two season series, and so pretty awesome to be able to hang out on a stage with 15, 18, 22-year-olds that are killing this athletic life because their bodies are still so young. And here's me, kind of the grandpa, being able to run point to point with them.
That's awesome. Well,
yeah,
dude, I'm forever grateful. We for that fateful day that we met at the new coffee shop in town, and we stood up at the same time and made eye contact, and it was like, I know I need to talk to this guy, and I have no idea why. So I was like, hey, bro, great coffee shop, right? And we started talking. I said, what do you do for a living? And this was literally like I shared in the video, this was literally the morning after my wife asked me if I was being a good steward with the one body that God had given me, and I was ticked.
Right.
And you go, oh, I'm a health coach. I help people
Yeah.
their health back. And I remember going, crap.
Yeah.
But literally, it's one of the great gifts that God's given me, is
It's
getting
changed your life, man.
alive.
It has changed your life. You are not the same person I met that day in the coffee shop.
For sure. And, I think the big thing for me is there's a huge difference between diets that don't work, but then beginning to implement healthy habits into your life.
Yeah.
And these are the things I learned from you over the last year, that when we begin to implement healthy habits in our life, we not only take our health back, but it becomes sustainable in the long run. And so, talk about that for just a second, the difference between diets and why they
Yeah.
don't work in the long run, and why it's critical that we develop these healthy habits.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think it really comes down to I was thinking too small all those decades of my life where I just put the focus on, oh, I need to lose weight. Oh, I need to watch the scale go down. And really that almost has nothing to do with it. That's the aftermath. You'll have that happen. But it's really about saying, I want to transform my life. I want to transform how I carry myself at the workplace. I want to transform how I lead my family. I want to transform how I lead my kids. I want to transform how I relate to my wife. I want to transform how I sleep. I want to transform how my body aches, because I had lost weight, 20 pounds here, 30 pounds there. It would always come back with more, and I could never keep it off. But even when I lost weight, Chris, I didn't see the change in my life because all I focused on was pounds. And let me just tell you, numbers get really old, they get boring. But when you start transforming your life, man, it changes everything from the inside out, and it becomes a true transformation. And for the long haul, because really, everybody asks me about working out all the time and what I do for ninja and stuff. Let me tell you, the number one muscle that I tone in my body is this thing right here. I tone my brain. We help our clients tone their brain muscle first because it is the longevity factor, and that's where the habits come in.
Well, and I'll never forget the day. I mean, the pounds are great, right? Like,
Yep.
I was down 63 pounds, but I will never forget the day that I walked into my doctor office intentionally,
Yep.
a couple of weeks after I hit my goal, walk in there to get my blood test results. And I always hated going to the doctor because I feared what they were going to say. But I walked in there with my shoulders back and with confidence. And she saw me, my doctor saw me and was like, what the heck have you been doing? And I told her, we hopped on the scale, which was the first time ever I've been excited to get on the scale at the doctor. But then we went in and she began to work through my blood test results. And it was night and day compared to what it was. And you see the change on the outside, but then and you feel it on the inside, but then when it's confirmed with those tests, so encouraging. So, okay, I could talk about this forever, but I want to give you guys real quick, since it's just a quick workshop, I want to give you 5 healthy habits today that I would love for you to focus on. And like I said, if you can, write this down, because we forget 95% of what we don't write down. Number 1, write this down. Number 1, the first healthy habit that I want to give you is your environment. Your environment. Your environment affects everything. If you have a pantry full of fake food that didn't exist 50 years from now or 50 years prior, man, get rid of that, right? If you're in the regular rut, and I want to give you just one practical thing that you can apply. I'm going to give you one challenge in each of these areas. And for environment, here's my challenge. Don't go to fast food for 30 days. Don't go inside a gas station or convenience store for 30 days and just see what happens. And some of us, we're so used to, we drive to work, we stop at the gas station, we stop at the convenience store, we pick up the, the pizza in there, or we stop at the fast food. In fact, on my health journey, I had a buddy that I called whenever I was passing a Taco Bell, because I was like, my habit was, if I passed a Taco Bell, I just pulled in to order off the dollar menu, even if I wasn't hungry. So environment is huge, and the places you put yourself. So first practical tip, don't put yourself in a fast food or a convenience store for the next 30 days and just see what happens, right? Number two, nutrition. Let me say this. I think this is one of the biggest myths. My wife and I work out at a gym here, Planet Fitness. But during my health journey, losing those 63 pounds, I literally did not go in a gym one time. And here's why. Because I learned from Eric that weight is not lost in a gym. It's lost in the kitchen. And so here's what I used to do. I would think, I got to lose weight. I got to lose weight. I got to get healthy. I would go into the gym. I would do like 30 minutes on a treadmill, 20 minutes on a bike, 10 minutes on a Stairmaster, burn 350 calories, and then head home. And on the way home, I would go, man, I really did it. And I would stop at Starbucks, buy a blueberry muffin because I thought that was healthy, and not even realizing the blueberry muffin had 375 calories. I was actually gaining weight. The gym is a place where you gain strength and health. It's great. But it's not a place that you lose weight. You lose weight in the kitchen. So here's one practical tip for you to try, right? So number one, in the environment, don't go to fast food or convenience store for 30 days. Number two, cut sugar out of your life for 30 days and see what happens. Just try it. And it will be a pain in the butt for the first week or two, because your body will be detoxing. It's like an addiction. It's like a drug. But then see what happens by week 3 or 4. So environment, nutrition. Number 3 is hydration. Y'all, we don't want to lose water weight. We need water. Our body is made up mostly of water. Like, we need to be well hydrated in order for our digestive system to function well. We need to be well hydrated for our neurological system to function well, for every system. And so here's what I want to encourage you. I pack this thing around everywhere I go. For the next 30 days, pack around a water bottle and drink water. No sugary drinks like soda. Listen, I love bourbon and I love amber ales. Okay. And every now and then I will have a nice glass of bourbon with a cigar, or an amber ale, or a glass of red wine. It's totally okay. But cut it out for 30 days and just see how your body reacts. Drink water. So here's your one practical habit that I want to encourage you. Try to drink half of your body weight in ounces in water for the next 30 days and see how you feel. Okay. So that's number 3. Number 4 is motion. I would love for you, on your iPhone, there's the health app that's already built in. Whether you realize it or not, it tracks your steps. So get on and just see how many steps you average. And if you don't have an iPhone or whatever, I realized you could buy on Amazon for like $14 a tracker. But here's where I want to challenge you. Try to get 8,000 steps in every day over the next 30 days. And again, just see how you feel. Get a brisk walk in after dinner or after lunch and see how you feel. And then the last thing is sleep. I took a master class on sleep, and I could not believe the way God created our bodies to need sleep to bring healing. They're so incredibly important. And one thing he said in there, he talked about the importance of rhythm. And he goes, man, we know this intuitively. That's why when we have kids, we have a bedtime routine for our kids. He goes, but then for some reason, we lose that bedtime routine as we get adults. But here's the truth, we need a bedtime routine. So I want to encourage you, just see what happens here. Try to go to bed and wake up at the same time or around the same time every day for the next 30 days and just see what happens. I'm telling you, if you will implement these 5 habits, I think you'll be shocked at what will happen. Now, we need to begin to wrap up. And so I am just hitting what I'm hoping to do is every now and then do one of these workshops where we focus on just one of these. Okay. But here's the deal. You will get as much out of this as you put into it. So become a student of health, right? We listen to Craig Groeschel a lot around Zingas, right? And he talks about what we set our mind to will determine the direction that we go. And so I want to encourage you to begin to set your mind to this. And listen, I'll just throw this out. I was at a place where I needed help, and that's why I reached out to Eric. And I just want to throw this out to you guys, and this would be separate from Zingas, but if you need help with this, I coach people now. I have gone through training, and I have learned so much, and I would love to pass that on to you. If you need help, shoot me an email, and I would love to talk with you about what that looks like. But those are the 5 habits I want to encourage you. Just do for the next 30 days and see what happens. So, Eric, I want to jump back real quick to you, buddy. And I want to open it up to anyone here for questions that you might have. So if you have questions, come off mute. We've got about 4 minutes. We'll just end with a little Q&A. Come off mute and ask away. And this could be anything from, dude, what was it like, being on American Ninja Warrior, to, hey, I just got diagnosed with, I'm pre-diabetic. What can I do? And is there hope for me? Right. So ask away, y'all.
And Chris, I would also say they could put it in the chat too if they don't feel comfortable coming off mute. Either way.
Awesome.
Yeah, you can use the chat. We'll look for that too. And let me just say, while we're waiting for the first question to come in, if people feel like they'd like to share or ask, can I just tell you something? If a quote that changed my life and my health trajectory forever, and it stared me in the face. And can I just encourage you to stare yourself in the mirror and say this to yourself? If you could have done it alone already, you would have done it alone already. And I just want to encourage you, surround yourself with people. A rising tide raises all ships, right? One of the greatest leadership quotes of all time. And I just want to encourage you, surround yourself with the right people that are in the version of health that you would like to pursue, and surround yourself with them. Because I guarantee you, if you're surrounding yourself right now with people that are unhealthy, you're going to stay unhealthy, and so are they. Because that's just what my life was for 30 years, and it's just a fact. And so I just want to encourage you, reach out. And here's the bottom line. I know how great of a coach Chris is. There's no charge for his coaching. So why not have a conversation to see, what does this even look like? And so I just want to encourage you guys, you will be a better husband, you'll be a better wife, you'll be a better coworker, you'll be a better partner, you'll be a better son, a better daughter, a better neighbor. You deserve to be the best version of yourself. Who knew I was 6 months away from the best change in my life that will affect me for decades to come? 6 months, I erased 30 years of bad, healthy habits. And by the way, let me just say this, and I hope it's okay for me to say this, Chris. Some of my most amazing clients came to me who did not need to lose weight, but they knew something wasn't right inside. Some of the most unhealthy clients I've ever had have been people that I would have looked at in my former state and said, wow, they're really healthy. So I just want to encourage you with that as well. This is not about just people that need to lose weight like I had to lose 100 pounds to live. So any questions out there for us? Boy, what a joy to hang out with all of you today. And I hope this isn't our last conversation we get to have. Anyone? I don't see any questions in the chat. Quiet group, Chris. They're just mesmerized by your awesome smile, bro.
So what was the first thing you did? What was the first thing you did as far as your doctor suggested or that you chose? What was the first thing you implemented?
Came home and cried in my wife's arms and told her I didn't know how I was going to do it. And then I couldn't keep doing what I had done before and realizing I had to do it different this time. That was the first thing I did. Second thing I did, I reached out to somebody that I had a trust relationship with. He happened to be a friend of mine. And I saw his picture running around my social media. And I just said, okay, I've got to humble myself here and make the call. I called him and I just said, Lee, talk to me. You look amazing. I can tell you feel amazing. I am about to die. Can you help me? And that was the first thing I did was I reached out for help, period. Yeah. That's it. That's exactly it.
One of the biggest, I feel like as humans, we function best with a plan. And that's,
Yes.
that's the biggest difference for me was, man, I just need a simple plan that would work in my everyday life.
Yeah.
And so whatever that plan is, put a plan together, reach out for help, but put a plan together.
That's it. Yep. Change your family tree. That's what it comes down to. We talk about that all the time. Changing your family tree. My kids are different now because I'm different, and my kids are becoming like me all over again, but this time in a positive way, not the negative way. I was leading them before, make no mistake, but it was down the road of bad health and disease. And I was watching my own children follow my lead because they do what I did. Now, guess what? They do what I do. And it's completely the opposite end of the spectrum. And my kids love health. My kids love being in motion. My kids love activity. My kids love positive relationship. It's pretty contagious. Pretty contagious when you find the real deal.
Great question, Heather. Any other questions, guys?
When is your show going to air?
I wish the producers would do a much better job of keeping us in the know. But unfortunately, I've learned over the last 2 or 3 years that that's show business. I'm pretty much a pawn in their entertainment world. And they'll reach out to me about 2 weeks out and say, hey, guess what? You're on national television again on this date. I'm like, oh, geez. Okay, I better start sending out T-shirts and getting all the watch parties ready all over the country and getting the word out on social media. So I don't know yet. I don't know. I wish I knew.
My mom, she's 85 and she is an avid watcher. She loves that show.
Oh, great.
I have to tell her.
Tell her to go watch season 14, episode 3. And then
I
say,
will.
Mom, that crazy bald dude, the old guy on the show, he was on our Zoom today.
I'm going to tell her for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Hey, well, listen, thank you guys for taking 30 minutes. Man, I'm telling you, I fully believe, that when we are healthier, when we are at our healthiest, we are better at home. We're better with our kids. We're better employees. Man, I love how Jesus said that the greatest commandment was to love God with every bit of who we are. But then he said the second was like it, to love our neighbor as much as we love ourselves. And for the longest time, I just focused on loving God, loving others. I didn't realize that he said, love your neighbor as much as you love yourself, that my capacity to love my neighbor actually increased when I love and care for myself enough to take care of myself. And so, man, very thankful for you guys. Thank you for taking the time. And if you have any questions or need anything, hit me up. So Chris Hornbrook at zingashome.com. So.